European citizens need to have privacy as guaranteed in the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the EU. But in this interconnected world, they absolutely need to have control over their personal data. And the EU has been trying to reform and update and strengthen the current rules on data protection and privacy through a proposal for a general data protection regulation that was tabled in 2012. So far, the negotiations have not been going so well in the Council. There is a huge problem with lobbying for companies, foreign governments, and now the Council, which is carving out very important protections that we need in this reform. So what the EU needs to do is to remember that the Charter of Fundamental Rights is binding and hear the calls from citizens and from businesses that they need to regain trust in the internet economy and to pass a strong, updated and harmonized reform that actually protects our privacy and serves businesses. The concept of keeping the internet free and open has been a key driver for economic and social progress around the world, not only in Europe. The OECD has consistently made studies that connect internet openness and internet connectivity with GDP growth. So I hope that is true, but it depends what happens with the policies and the legislation that is on the table right now. We're often told by governments that we have to sacrifice our liberties in order to have security, and this is an absolute false dichotomy. What we know in the internet world, we need to trust the products and services that we use. Making mandatory backdoors, for instance, making our products less secure, mandating the snooping or peeping into our communications only makes us more vulnerable to attacks not only from intelligence services or law enforcement, but also from third parties like hackers that might want to steal your data. If you're talking about security, if it's about national security, like what I discussed at my talk about the security measures proposed in the wake of Charlie Hebdo, what we need is less long-term sustainable solutions. We need better resources for law enforcement and the security community. I gave the example of the French intelligence services that had been following the suspects that were responsible for the tragic attacks on Charlie Hebdo, and they lost interest in them. So there needs to be more efficient surveillance, but not more, putting us all under blanket surveillance, infringing our right to privacy, and making costly databases that, again, would be vulnerable to attacks and access by third parties is not the solution. Net neutrality is absolutely in danger, and it has been in danger since the beginning of the internet. In 2013, the European Commission proposed a regulation called the Telecom Single Market Regulation that would, among other things, propose net neutrality rules. We have been working on this, working with the European Parliament, and we were pleased to see that their position is very much in favor for an open, universal internet, one that allows for competition and the ability for individuals to freely receive and impart information. Unfortunately, that regulation is has now left the hands of the Council, whose position on net neutrality is not favorable. So we need people to get involved and to talk to their representatives, their member state reps, and to tell them that we want real net neutrality.